What's up, guys? This is BC Builds, Andy. If you can tell, I'm all stuffed up. I don't know if it's allergies or I'm being sick, or I am sick. Dude. I just wanted to point out another very important part of tattooing is your lighting. I don't really see anybody addressing this, but this is something that should be stressed. Not just the brightness of the room. Obviously, given the room needs to be bright and you need to have a bright light so you can see what you're doing. But there's a lot of different types of light out there, and colors are pretty much perceived by the eye the way the light hits them. Different types of light bulbs and lights have different effects on the colors. So see the color for its true form, you want the cleanest form of light you can get. Which are really kind of, it's not seriously important, but it is in a way. Those fluorescent bulbs, the energy efficient ones, are fucking horrible. They kind of distort colors. Not too much, but I don't recommend using them. Honestly, what I use is LED lights, and if you're using a standard light bulb, I use pure white. I forget what else it's called. It's 100 watt, which is in here. And what I also use is, I find the best for brightness and just to see the color correctly is LED lights. I have a bunch of these. These are the best. And these you'll be able to, with pure white and just pure UV light like this, you'll be able to see the color for what it actually is, unless you're colorblind. And that's really important, because if you're viewing it under a yellowish light bulb, it's going to give a yellow hue to the color. And then when you go out in the daylight, UV light, it's going to look different. Maybe not to a huge extent, but it does. It does play a lot. And also another matter I've addressed, or want to address, is when you're tattooing, you obviously have lights in the room, but usually have a little stand light, or I have one of these that's clipped to provide extra light directly on the tattoo. But sometimes your hands are getting in the way, and you can't exactly see where you're tattooing. And I see people moving the lights all over and touching the light, moving it, and having to wrap it up with barrier film. That's just kind of unsanitary and a pain in the ass. What I learned from a convention, which I forget who, I think it was Freddie Negretti, I saw using one of these. Pretty much any LED headlight, obviously you see this straps to your head. And the light points wherever you're looking. And they're super bright LEDs. The batteries last forever in them, and it guarantees that you have a good light source on the spot you're tattooing at any given time. I don't see too many people using these. I always use one, no matter what. It doesn't matter if I'm in the brightest room in the world. I'm always going to use this, because these, they rotate up and down. This one, and so does this one. So basically you can adjust it so wherever your eyes actually are and your head's pointed, that light's going to be there. And it just basically provides 100% consistent light source on the spot you're tattooing at any given time. This one is an older one, which I used for a while, which I just had forever. And I actually went to Home Depot and purchased this one, which is, this is really nice. It's 144 lumens, which is really bright, compared to this, which is only about 80 or so, 80 or 90 lumens. It's not the brightest flashlight in the world, but this is really nice because of the cylindrical shape. It's more of a focused beam, which you want focused on one spot, where you're tattooing. And because it's LED, it gives you a clean light source, and it doesn't tint the color. The color's actually the same. It's how your eye views it, by the way, with different light sources. And this is made by Coast. You can see the light goes in the front of your head, straps on. It also has a red one, which you don't really use. But the good thing about this one is the battery pack is actually on the back of it. There's a cable you can see that goes around to the back. And what that does is, because when you're tattooing, you're usually leaning and looking forward down. And if you have the whole battery pack and the light assembly on the front of your head, it kind of falls down. And it's uncomfortable having all that weight on the front of your head. Given it's the same amount of weight, well, actually this is a little lighter, I find it's much more comfortable having it on the back of your head and just having a small light on the front. And also this one, you can see the difference, has the top strap that goes over your head, and it just helps secure it in place. Giving anyone like this a work, as long as it's, make sure they're LED lights, don't use standard bulbs. But I recommend this Coast. I think it was like 30 bucks. Probably the best money ever spent. Because you put this on, you know, and given, you can see, even see on the table, I got 2 lights pointing on it, and 2 over there and 1 up there, and you can still see different light variations on the table. The value's different. It's darker back there because the lights are pointing at a different spot. You know, wrong one. When you're wearing this, wherever you look, that light's going to be. And that guarantees you can always see what you're doing. And because it's a super bright LED focused, if you're doing gray washes, you can actually see through the pool of gray wash, and you can actually see through that ink to the skin. Not if it's solid black or solid color, well, sometimes. So anybody that's having lighting problems or just can't stand moving lights around, because that's my biggest pet peeve, is having to touch a light, because that makes your gloves dirty unless you put barrier film on it, and that's just one extra step to set up and clean and break down. It's just, this makes your life easier. Put it on beforehand, and convenient little switch on the top. So instead of putting lights on your machine, those hanging lights that never stay in place and having to constantly move them or rubber band them, just buy one of these. And I don't want to hear anybody fucking bitch about, oh, I don't want to have to buy batteries. I've used this thing for at least 100 man hours. It's still bright as shit, and it's got the original batteries. And it takes 3 AAA batteries, which is what, $3 at the most. You can get a whole pack for fucking $5. You know, I wouldn't complain about it. Compared to what you would spend on a nice drawing light. Per se, that was, it's not meant for tattooing, but it's a professional drawing light, which was like 60 bucks. This was 30 bucks, and this looks wherever I look. I definitely recommend to anybody who tattoos, seriously try this. It'll just make you more accurate. You can see what you're doing better. You'll perceive the color a lot better. You're doing gray washes. You know, when you're trying to, you know, shade a big area, you got a lot of that thin, you know, number 6 ink in there that's puddling up on top of the skin, makes you can't really see the skin, so you're kind of guessing. This LED light will actually pierce right through it, so you can actually see through the ink. So that's it, guys. I'm making another video tomorrow. I'm sick. I have some more shit to show you. Like a few tattoos I've done. I'm working on Thor and some shit for my brother. That's it. I'm going to load some of my videos up tomorrow and make a new one. I'm out, guys.